Good morning. Welcome to Daily Coffee with Carter and Keri. Today is Friday, June 28th, and we had a big night the past 2 nights, live debate watching parties. A lot of fun.
We did. And we should remind people, because we did the 2 live shows, we didn't do a live deprogrammed. We did a pre-recorded deprogrammed. And if you've missed it, it was a great conversation with Barbara Kay, and I highly recommend going and checking it out. I know we've been putting out lengthy content lately because of the debates, but maybe over the weekend to get a chance to check it out. It was a great interview.
It was amazing. I want her to be my mom. She's just no nonsense and brilliant, and doesn't, at one point in the interview, we talked about, she doesn't really care. Like she's just a grandma. She's like, what are they going to do to me? I'll just go back to being a grandma. I'm going to keep speaking unless,
she's what the grandmas should be. Like the grandmas who are kind of, that don't give a shit, but instead of focusing on irrelevant crap, she's focusing on the stuff that matters and speaking out, and she's articulate and insightful. Keri, I don't want to talk about politics.
No, but we're going to talk about the purge.
Yeah, we should talk about the purge, and there's going to be a little bit of politics involved with this discussion, only because we're going to hear from Senator Ted Cruz grilling a Google exec. So let's listen. You want to just play the video and we'll just pause and...
Yeah, so Carter hasn't seen this yet, so he's going to be saying it with you guys if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have not been paying attention. Just the context we all know. If you don't know about the Project Veritas leak of Google documents and information and interviews with Google execs or employees, then go look at that first. But Project Veritas, as Keri was mentioning to me this morning, they're continuing to be under assault. I think, Keri, you said Vimeo banned their videos now.
Vimeo's now banned them. Every single social media platform is trying to make this video disappear. This report.
They're all afraid of it, and they're all coming to Google's defense.
And by the way, after the video, they also then leaked some emails, internal emails, in which an employee at Google is calling Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro and PragerU Nazis.
Yes.
And talking about censoring them because they're Nazi content. Like, they are horrible people, the Google people. What they're doing is horrible. And what we're seeing is all the social media companies pulling together to try and censor this information from getting out there. And then you have like Carter pointed out in one of our previous videos, you have the mainstream news or the legacy news trying to pretend like this is some conspiracy. Oh, that video that you haven't seen because it's been taken down from every platform. You don't need to watch that. It's just a right-wing conspiracy theory. Like,
right. Yeah. It's Dan Crenshaw, I think the other day didn't he grill someone at Google as well?
Yes, he and Ted Cruz both did.
Yeah, and Crenshaw pointed out the people that you mentioned, Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, and Dennis Prager, 2 of those 3 are Jewish people that you just called Nazis, and 3 of 3 lost someone in the Holocaust in their family. Like, it was like...
He's like, do you not know what Nazi means? No, because they don't, because they just throw that word around.
All right, well, let's watch this. I haven't seen it, so here we go.
A lot of Americans have concerns that big tech media companies, and Google in particular, are engaged in political censorship and bias. As you know, Google enjoys a special immunity from liability under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. The predicate for that immunity was that Google and other big tech media companies would be neutral public fora. Does Google consider itself a neutral public forum?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, it does.
Okay, can you pause it?
I just want to know, who is this woman?
She's going to tell you in a minute what her title is. She's got some bullshit title like the head of wellness and well-being here at Google. Like, one of these people gets paid a lot of money to do nothing.
Orwellian title. That really means the head of, torturing
right.
people.
It's the opposite of whatever it says. I just want to pause it for a quick second. Already on record, they're saying that they are an unbiased, a neutral platform. I mean, can you believe the gall? They purposefully sent this woman in here, as you're about to see, just to play dumb and to not talk about anything, just to stall. And I just, there's something about the gall to just say that, to just say we're neutral when they know they're not. That just, it makes me so furious. Also, this is sexy Ted Cruz. I like everything about what he's wearing today, and I like his beard. And anyway,
I think they believe they're neutral.
You think they believe that?
Yeah, because they believe that their view of the world is objectively correct and neutral, and any dissenting opinion is crazy Nazi right wing. Like, they convince themselves of that. I think they're delusional. Many of the execs, maybe some people there know they're biased, but I think they might have sent her in there because she's a believer.
You might be right. Yeah.
Right. If I was going to send someone to confront Ted Cruz, I wouldn't send someone who knew the whole strategy and would feel nervous about it. I would send a zealot who's just bought in and believes the lie. So let's hope I'm never running a billion-dollar company as an evil overlord.
Okay. Are you familiar with a report that was released yesterday from Veritas that included a whistleblower from within Google, that included videos from a senior executive at Google, and then included documents that are purportedly internal PowerPoint documents from Google?
Yes, I heard about that report in industry news.
Have you seen the report?
No, I have not.
So you didn't review the report to prepare for this hearing?
It's been a busy day, and I have a day job, which is digital well-being at Google. So I'm trying to make sure I keep the trains on the
sorry,
tracks.
this hearing is impinging on your day job.
It's a great.
Can you?
This is awesome. So, this is the person. So actually, you don't actually have to blame her. I mean, you can blame her, but think about this from Google's perspective, because this is not Ted Cruz yelling. This is not him grilling her for things that she's done wrong as an individual. She's representing a multi-billion-dollar company. And what he's really saying is, we asked a multi-billion-dollar company to come before this committee to talk about this issue, and you've sent a representative who didn't bother to watch the fucking video.
Exactly.
That's what he did.
Exactly. But that's purposeful. She didn't watch and by the way, I think she did watch the video. I think that is a lie. But it's probably, of course she watched the video. You don't want to go in there completely unprepared, but you can pretend like you didn't watch it, so you can't answer any questions about it.
Right.
And again, the gall, he's like, did you watch the video? No, I have a day job. I have a busy job. This is your job. You're here to answer questions about this video.
That wasn't just gall. I mean, that was gall, but it was also condescending. It's extremely arrogant.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look, I'm not a statist, so I condescend on senators all day long, but Google believes in the state and the legitimacy of government and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure she does as well. It's kind of condescending to be like, I have a day job. You're kind of, you're in my way, stupid senator, telling me I'm here violating the law.
Plus whatever her job, again, the Orwellian sounding like Department of Wellness and Well-being or whatever there. And then she says, I've got to keep the trains. There are no trains. Oh, let's just be clear. There are no trains that are in danger of not running because of this woman being gone for a day.
Yeah. If there's one employee who can't be out for a day at Google, then Google would not be the company it is. You can't build a company this big where someone can't go watch a video and talk to Ted Cruz. Okay, here we go.
Great opportunity. Thank you. I really appreciate
one of the
it.
things in that report, and I would recommend people interested in political bias at Google watch the entire report and judge for yourself. There's a video from a woman, Jen Janai. It's a secret video that was recorded.
By the way, pause for a second. I would encourage that people watch the video, except you can't because Google took it down.
Yeah.
Is the head of, quote, responsible innovation for Google. Are you familiar with Ms. Janai?
I work in user experience, and I believe that AI group is somebody we worked with on the AI principles, but it's a big company, and I don't work directly with Jen.
I was just going to say, is her answer going to be, it's a big company? Because this begs the question, Keri, what the hell is she doing here representing Google? Why didn't they just get the janitor? Why is she here?
I don't know. I'm just.
Did you watch the video? No. Do you know this person? It's a big company. Like, what are we just going to randomly pick an employee and send them to Congress? Fucking Google.
I'm just the coffee person at Google.
Yeah, I don't know. I was hired yesterday. They told me to come here. All right, here we go.
Do you know her or no?
I do not know Jen.
Okay. And she is shown in the video saying, and this is a quote, Elizabeth Warren is saying that we should break up Google. And like, I love her, but she's very misguided. Like, that will not make it better. It will make it worse. Because all these smaller companies who don't have the same resources that we do will be charged with preventing the next Trump situation. It's like a small company cannot do that. Do you think it's Google's job to, quote, prevent the next Trump situation?
Thank you, Senator. I don't agree with that. No, sir.
So a different individual, a whistleblower.
So it's like she's there to speak personally. I don't personally agree with that, Senator. Okay, isn't she there to speak on behalf of Google? Like, can he not say, does Google agree with this?
Well, her answer would be, I don't represent Google, which would be funny because then he would say, then why are you here?
Yeah.
So I think he probably should have gone down that. He should. I don't know where this goes because I'm seeing it for the first time, but he should go down the road of what the hell are you doing here?
Right, because this is not an inquiry into what you personally agree.
Right, I don't care what you do. Yeah, I'm worried about Google, not you.
What do you personally think about this, woman?
Right, like you know. All right, here we go.
Identified simply as an insider at Google with knowledge of the algorithm. It's quoted on the same report as saying, Google, quote, is bent on never letting somebody like Donald Trump come to power again. Do you think it's Google's job to make sure, quote, somebody like Donald Trump never comes to power again?
No, sir. I don't think that is Google's job. And we build for everyone, including every single religious belief, every single demographic, every single region, and certainly every political affiliation.
I really want to know why she's here. Like, I'm starting to suspect that they literally just hired her here.
Well, if you remember in the video that they were trying to make it very hard for you to watch in the Project Veritas report, the hidden footage with this executive Jenai, mm-hmm. She says in the video, this is why when they call us before Congress, we don't go. We blow it off. We're not going to change what we're doing. She says this in the video, not knowing she's being recorded.
Okay, here you go.
Well, I have to say that certainly does not appear to be the case. Of the senior executives at Google, do you know of a single one who voted for Donald Trump?
Thank you, Senator. I'm a user experience director and I work on Google digital well-being. And I can tell you we have diverse views, but I can't. Simple question.
Do you know of anyone who voted for Trump? Of the senior
I definitely know of people who voted for Trump.
Of the senior executives at Google?
I don't talk politics with my workmate.
Is that a no?
Sorry, is that a no to what?
Do you know of any senior executives, even a single senior executive at the company who voted for Donald Trump?
As the digital well-being expert, I don't think it's in my purview to comment on political
So you don't know that. That's all right. You don't have to know.
I definitely don't know.
I can tell you what the public record.
So then at the end, she tries, by the way, the poor woman, she's not sophisticated enough to have this conversation also. So she does her great evasion. I'm like, if you think of, put your lawyer hat on, you're the Google lawyer, you're watching her. She does the right evasion the whole time. And then at the end, after she's won, she's like, yeah, I definitely don't know any.
Yeah, she's
Undermine the whole evasion. Your point, yeah.
You're evading the whole time, and then you admit, yeah, I don't know anybody who voted for Trump.
Yeah, but it's kind of like he's pointing out you're evading, and she's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I don't know anyone. Okay, let's keep watching.
The public records show that in 2016, Google employees gave to the Hillary Clinton campaign $1.315 million. That's a lot of money. Care to venture how much they gave to the Trump campaign?
I would have no idea, sir.
Well, the nice thing is it's a round number, $0.00.
Now, I actually don't like this line of questioning, because the damning evidence against Google is not that no one in the company voted for Trump or that no one gave Trump money. Those are irrelevant. If they were classical liberals who voted against Trump and didn't give him any money and supported free speech, they could still support free speech and have an open platform and be honest and hate Trump and not give him money. So this isn't the line of questioning he should be going down. I think he should be really exposing the policies, not because it's emotional.
I agree with you, but I think do both. It is emotional, and at least I think this is the groundwork of showing it's like, hey, we all know what the politics are of everyone who works at Google. We know that, and now let's move on to the exact things that are in the report, like the policy things that are discriminatory. I do agree with you. It doesn't matter. You could theoretically have a company that's entirely made up of leftists, but leftists who are principled and who do not censor. That's just not the case here. This is a company entirely made up of leftists who do censor and who lie about it.
Censor now. That's because if you don't censor, you're considered alt-right.
Right. Or a Nazi.
Right. Okay.
I just, once again, just for the ladies, just look at how great he looks. She looks like she just rolled out of bed, or she did not get a lot of sleep the night before, probably because of this report. Look at how great and collected he looks. And he also, Ted, I think he's one of the only ones who's like pushing on this issue now, isn't he? In the Senate?
In the Senate? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay. By the way, I won't say this. Never mind.
What were you going to say?
No, it was kind of unrelated. I'm seeing the objectivist community make arguments that like censorship is only government censorship. And it's like, no, that's not.
No.
That's not true. That is false. That's not true. That's why you write government censorship in front of the word.
Exactly. Oh, I see people make that argument all the time. Well, it's not censorship if it's not the government doing it. It's not censorship. It's censorship. I'm against all forms of it, legal and illegal.
Right. Anyway, here we go.
Not a penny, according to the public reports. Let's talk about one of the PowerPoints that was leaked. The Veritas report has Google internally saying, I propose we make machine learning intentionally human-centered and intervene for fairness. Is this document accurate?
Thank you, sir. I don't know about this document, so I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to...
But I know what's for lunch tomorrow in the cafeteria. That's why I'm here.
Respond to the committee in writing afterwards as to whether this PowerPoint and the other documents that are included in the Veritas report, whether those documents are accurate. And I recognize that your lawyers may want to write explanation. You're welcome to write all the explanation that you want, but I also want a simple, clear answer. Is this an accurate document that was generated by Google? Do you agree with the sentiment expressed in this document?
No, sir, I do not.
Again, your personal opinions don't matter. Is this inaccurate? Did Google make this doc? Is this a real document?
Yeah.
Let me read you another, also in this report. It indicates that Google, according to this whistleblower, deliberately makes recommendations if someone is searching for conservative commentators deliberately shifts the recommendation. So instead of recommending other conservative commentators, it recommends organizations like CNN or MSNBC or left-leaning political outlets. Is that occurring?
Thank you, sir. I can't comment on search algorithms or recommendations given my purview as the digital well-being lead. I can take that back to my team though.
I hate her so much.
Why the hell? I mean, I may not like her as a person. I don't know. I don't really know her. She rubs me the wrong way, but that's not an argument. I'm not mad at her. What the hell is she doing here? Why did Google send her?
Oh, I'm mad at her. I'm mad at her because she's the representative there. She's the face of them basically flipping off the American people and saying, we don't care. I can take that back to my team for you.
You know, I get that. She's symbolically despicable because she's Google's representative here. But this is, I guess what I'm saying is you hate on her, but when you look at her, see Google doing this. This is ridiculous.
Oh, of course I do. See Google.
Digital well-being for search recommendations to reflect where the user wants to go rather than deliberately shifting where they want to go?
Thank you, sir. As a user experience professional, we focus on delivering on user goals. So we try to get out of the way and get them on the task at hand.
So a final question. One of these documents that was leaked explains what Google is doing, and it has a series of steps. Training data are collected and classified, algorithms are programmed, media are filtered, ranked, aggregated, and guaranteed, and that ends with people, parentheses, like us, are programmed. Does Google view its job as programming people with search results?
Thank you, Senator. I can't speak for the whole entire company, but I can tell you that we make sure that we put our users first in our design.
Wow.
So send us someone who can speak for the company.
Yeah, Sundar should be here, but
I think these questions raise very serious, these documents raise very serious questions about political bias at the company.
yeah, well, they do. They raise very serious questions. He's right.
A couple other things that happened recently, just to say, Reddit there's a very popular forum on Reddit called the Donald. It's hugely popular among people who are Trump supporters and anyone who's non-PC, and Reddit quarantined it 2 days ago, the day of the debates, which means you have to have a Reddit account to see it now. You have to actually log in. It makes it harder to view it, and it's harder to view on your phone. Like we said, Vimeo's decided to ban Project Veritas. Like, all of these companies are just closing in before the election.
Yeah, and they're getting bold about it. They're doing it. This is Google flaunting its power. This is Google showing Ted Cruz, we don't have to give a shit about you.
We care so little about you and Congress and the American people that we're going to send this woman with hair that's not brushed and who doesn't doesn't know anything about what she's talking about. And the fact that they sent her is also offensive to me. You send someone on the same intellectual ground as Cruz, right? Somebody who can actually talk with him. But no, that would be respectful. That would be respectful of the whole process and of being there. So they send this stooge.
Yeah. But I think that's intentional. I think they're sending a message to Ted Cruz.
It's a total message. It's like, F you. They're flipping off.
It is.
Yeah.
And they have the entire legacy media behind them. They have other tech companies behind them. They're all wanting to support Google. I think they probably all instinctually, if not consciously, know that Google's bias is the backbone of all tech bias. If Google were unbiased, because Google includes YouTube, if Google were unbiased, it would be hard for Twitter and Facebook and everyone to keep it up, to keep up their censorship and bias, because you would have, Google is the place to start on the internet for for younger people, it's YouTube is the place to start. And for older people, often it's the Google search bar or Google News. All those are owned by Alphabet, the parent company. They're all the same company. So Google is it's the heart of the beast, and they're protecting it. And I think all these companies are going to rush to the defense of Google, and they do view it as their job to change the results of the next election and to prevent a Trump event. So speaking about the election, I don't know if you noticed, this is why you should fear Kamala Harris. Other than that she's horrible, I mean, fear the likelihood that she'll actually be the nominee. So debate night 1, it was the media pushing Elizabeth Warren, saying she won, but people searching for Tulsi Gabbard and Cory Booker, and those were the interesting people to the population. Night 2, media pushed Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris was like overwhelmingly the search winner, overwhelmingly. So there's media and populist alignment on Kamala Harris. That's why I think she'll be the nominee. You mentioned something that Twitter wants to do, Keri, related to all this, related to censorship.
Twitter just, this is another big story that they're going to ignore and pretend like it's. Twitter just announced that they're going to start putting warning labels on politicians' tweets that they feel violate their policies. So, and everybody knows they're talking about Trump. Okay, they didn't name him by name, I don't think but they said specifically politicians. So it would say something like, are you sure you want to read this tweet? It's abusive. Like before, right. and it's going to be on like every one of Trump's tweets. But I actually think they're shooting themselves in the foot with this, because if they start censoring him and he leaves the platform, they're done.
Well, so they've been under fire from Jack's been criticized by the left for not censoring Trump, because the left cheers with all the Twitter censorship. They love it. And so they point to Trump tweets and say, doesn't this also violate the vague policy of whatever? And they're right in the sense that Twitter does inconsistently apply the rules. They don't apply them to the left, but they also don't apply them to Trump. And Jack's response was basically, well, we have to balance the rules with the importance that Trump has. Like, we have kind of an obligation to let people see what the president's saying. And so we have to kind of balance those two issues. That was his answer, roughly. And this is a way that Twitter thinks that they can get out of it by virtue signaling to the community that we know this is hateful and horrible and violates our social justice sensibilities, but they can still they're not technically banning him. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, obviously, I think the whole thing's a bad idea, but this actually might backfire, because what I like about it is if all they're doing is shadow banning Trump, or if they are pretending, if you're maybe a normie and you're not paying attention, you see, well, they're not censoring Trump, and their political intentions might not be as obvious to everyone who's not paying attention. But if they start labeling only Trump's tweets as hateful and are violating their policy, and you start to notice that, oh, look, all of the leftist politicians, their tweets don't have this label, and the people on the right, their tweets do have this label, I think it exposes the political bias inherent in Twitter's policies, and maybe it will backfire, and people will see, oh, wait a minute, Twitter clearly is biased because all these labels, they're exposing what they're doing. Maybe.
I think we should wrap it up.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Carter.
Okay. Hi, YouTube, machine learning AI. We're back. This is the next couple paragraphs in the wonderfully accurate, very intellectual and factual White Privilege Unpacking the Knapsack by Peggy McIntosh, who is really the savior of our time and the modern Jesus. She says, describing white privilege makes one newly accountable. As we in women's studies work to reveal male privilege and ask men to give up some of their power, so one who writes about white privilege must ask, having described it, what will I do to lessen or end it? After I realized the extent to which men work from a base of unacknowledged privilege, I understood that much of their oppressiveness was unconscious. Then I remembered the frequent charges from women of color that white women whom they encounter are oppressive. With that, please don't demonetize or censor us, YouTube machine learning algorithm.